October 16, 1992. The air hung thick with Pacific fog. Marin County, California, just north of San Francisco, was winding down into another sleepy Friday night. Teenagers were piling into cars after the high school football game. Lovers were retreating to secluded parking lots beneath the redwoods. The world, for the most part, was at peace. Then came the call. At exactly 12:41 a.m., the Marin County Sheriff's Department received a call from a payphone near a gas station on Redwood Highway. The male voice on the other end was calm. Too calm. "I want to report a double murder. Go 2 miles up Shoreline Drive to the turnout past Miller Point. You'll find a car. 2 teens inside. Shot with a 9mm Browning. I did this. I also killed a couple last year near Tam Junction. Good night." The call was traced, but the man was already gone. Sheriff's deputies found the scene exactly as described. A battered tan Oldsmobile parked facing the ocean. In the driver's seat was David Crane, 18, a football player with college dreams. Slumped against the passenger door, still faintly alive, was Becca Tillman, 17, an aspiring artist and David's girlfriend since sophomore year. David was dead, shot once in the head and twice in the chest. Becca had been shot in the shoulder and cheek but survived, barely. Her testimony would later become the fragile thread that unraveled a much darker history. Becca's last whispered words before passing out? "He was watching us." The story might have ended there, just another tragedy. A cruel robbery. A case of mistaken identity. But investigators began to piece together the puzzle. Becca woke from a coma 10 days later. She described the shooter as a man in dark clothing, possibly wearing a hood or ski mask, who walked up to the car without a sound. No headlights. No footsteps. Just the muzzle flash in the dark. But it wasn't just the attack that chilled detectives. It was the timing. Exactly 1 year and 1 day prior, on October 15, 1991, a similar double shooting had occurred near Tam Junction. Cassie Ryland and Trevor Ng, both 19, were shot while parked in a similar fashion along a coastal turnout. At the time, it was ruled a random act of violence. No, it was beginning to look like a pattern. The newspapers were cautious. But then came the first letter. It arrived at the Marin Tribune on Halloween 1992. It was handwritten, blocky, and postmarked locally. The opening line read, "I hope you enjoyed last Friday's show. It's only the beginning." The envelope contained a cipher filled with strange symbols, numbers, and letters. And in the corner, a crude drawing. A crosshair inside a circle, eerily reminiscent of the infamous Zodiac Killer of the late 1960s. Was it a copycat? A descendant? Or something worse? A continuation? The letter was signed Z/Reborn. The media dubbed him Zodiac Reborn. The resemblance was too close to ignore. Not just the symbol or the cipher, but the tone of the letters, the arrogance, the thrill-seeking. The killer wasn't hiding. He wanted to be found, but on his terms. The FBI was called in. A task force of cryptanalysts, linguists, and criminal profilers began decoding the letter. It took 6 weeks and the help of a high school math teacher named Lauren Kent and her retired cryptographer father to crack the code. The decrypted message read, "To kill is to transcend. Your laws are lies. Those who mock me become my servants. I kill not for hate but for collection. Next time the park. Midnight. Count your stars. Z/Reborn." Police blanketed every park in the county. But nothing happened that night. The next killing didn't occur for 4 more months, in February 1993, this time in San Bruno, south of the city. Another young couple shot in their car, close range, no witnesses. A new letter arrived days later with a fragment of blood-stained fabric and a playing card taped to the page. The Queen of Hearts, pierced with a small bullet hole. The Zodiac Reborn wasn't just mocking law enforcement. He was staging art. The profiler assigned to the case, Agent Meredith Holloway, later described the killer as a narcissistic sadist with delusions of divinity. He sees himself as beyond morality. Killing is ritual, symbolic, and tied to his need for control and immortality. But here's where the twist comes. In the third letter, Z begins to hint at his true motive. He writes about becoming like father, and about a legacy unfulfilled. The reference puzzled agents, until a retired SFPD officer from the original Zodiac case, George Powell, reached out. He believed Zodiac Reborn might be the son of the original Zodiac. A birth certificate surfaced, hidden in the sealed files of an abandoned psychiatric facility near Stockton. It listed a patient named Anthony B. as the father of a boy born in 1972. That boy's name was redacted. But in a psychiatric note attached to the file, the father was quoted saying, "He'll finish what I started. My son will be greater than me. He understands the hunt." DNA evidence from the 1969 Zodiac letters had never yielded a match. But now investigators had a theory. The Zodiac never died. He taught his son everything. And his son had begun his own legacy. March 1993. The killings stopped. Just like that. No more letters. No more murders. The media frenzy faded. But law enforcement stayed alert. For 11 years, nothing. Then in 2004, a sealed envelope arrived at the San Francisco Chronicle. Inside, a letter, aged but clean. A single page typed this time. "I am tired of your games. You never saw me. You never knew. But you danced when I whistled. The collection is complete. My father smiles. Z/Reborn." It included GPS coordinates. A remote patch of land near Jenner, California. When investigators searched the site, they found 5 rusted license plates, each partially buried and burned. Cross-referencing the plates led to 5 unsolved disappearances between 1992 and 1993. All cases of missing couples last seen near cars. 5 known Zodiac Reborn murders. 5 missing pairs. A total of 15 victims, if not more. Today the case remains open. DNA from the envelopes yielded a partial profile but not enough to identify. Some suspect Z died. Others believe he simply walked away, satisfied with the echoes he left behind. And every so often in the mailroom of the Chronicle, they receive a letter with no return address. Blank inside. Except for one thing. A crosshair faintly drawn in pencil. The Zodiac Reborn case is one of the most disturbing cold cases in California history. Not because we don't know who he is, but because we might never. He could be a myth. A man. A sun. A shadow. But one thing is certain. He made the world look over its shoulder again. And somewhere in the fog of Northern California, he might still be watching.